It's a community that is fit for our family, our lifestyle.
It was a lot for us, but
these guys seemed awesome when we met them.
She immediately knew you, she knew our situation, she knew exactly what we were looking for.
And now we came back and seen the changes they made, and they were incredible. I want them to do some changes on our house now if we can.
They are what Evans Farms is all about: community, family, and having a good time.
And it's just been a great experience.
Yeah, that was a lot. Allie, she's a lot.
So relocating from out of state, especially with 4 young boys and looking for a luxury build, is pretty hard. We were happy to help the Fike family.
Yeah.
You know, when my company came to me asking to move to Ohio, we knew an agent in Ohio, so we reached out to them, and they were no longer an agent and gave us a contact, and it was actually Stacey and Jim Lambright. And I feel like immediately you and Stacey hit it off. Yeah, the way you guys are conversing back and forth and talking, she immediately knew you, she knew our situation, she knew exactly what we were looking for, and steered us in this direction, one of them towards Evans Farm.
So the challenges were they were coming in a couple months. That they really wanted the luxury market. We could tell from talking to them that they really wanted that quality build. We just happened to be at it was a builder realtor social.
Right. And we got a chance to meet the owner, and we're sitting there talking of Kenrick Homes, and we were literally just talking over a glass of your favorite drink. Bourbon. And we're sitting there and we're talking and find out that they have a home that's in process that might be done in time for exactly when they were moving here. It was incredible. We're thinking, could this actually be happening this way? And, it's great to have referral partners from all across the country that we do. We meet great families all the time, but these guys seemed awesome when we met them. They had a house to sell in Arizona. And so that's one of the challenges, right? When you're trying to sell your home and then also buy a home, especially in a very competitive market. Central Ohio is so competitive here. Everyone seems to be relocating to Columbus, Ohio right now.
And the one thing that we put it together really quickly was the Evans Farm vibe was perfect for their family.
Wow.
With 4 young boys, even the owners of Kenrick Fine Homes, Ken and Chris, they were welcoming. They actually met us at the house.
They actually live in the neighborhood, so we knew it was going to be a great place, right?
Yeah. When have you ever shown a home that the builder, the owner of the company actually meets you at the house?
Right. And so it was awesome. Showed us around and also showed us all the amenities of the community, and we knew this is a great spot. So we were excited for them to fly in and check it out.
We did that. We loaded up our 4 boys and we took a flight, and all 6 of us flew over to Columbus.
And it was very touching when we first met them here. We actually met in front of our house that we just bought. And Stacey was there, Jim was there, and Jim was actually there just to watch the kids.
So I can remember them coming up the driveway, and it was, or coming up the walk, and it was Corey and Maggie and you guys, and the realtor and the 4 kids in tow. And Ken's like, oh boy, here they come.
Yeah. How can you forget that day? You're trying to talk to a client, you're trying to sell a deal, and there's 4 kids that are running around, touching the wall, sliding on the carpet like it's a baseball game. It was a lot for us, but after talking to them, we figured that they would be great clients for the neighborhood. They would really fit in. I mean, they are what Evans Farms is all about: community, family, and having a good time.
I know once we chose Kenrick Homes, they actually stepped up even more, because we had, with 4 young boys, you're going to have changes and some customizations that need to happen, and they actually stepped up to the plate and even went above and beyond. Once we said, yes, this is our home, now can you make some changes, and really wrapped it up for us.
And it was a 4-bedroom house, so I immediately looked at Maggie and said, well, why are we looking at a 4-bedroom house? We wanted a 5-bedroom or more because of our 4 boys. And we said, well, let's just go take a look and see what the house has to offer. And the more we walked through the house, the more we appreciated the detail, the craftsmanship. And we kept saying, we really want a 5-bedroom house. And Ken immediately was like, well, I can turn it.
I can do that for you.
I can turn this a bedroom, no problem. And it'll be just in the cost of the house. And so immediately that turned our minds to, well, maybe this could be a really good house.
It seemed like a realistic option all of a sudden.
As we spoke more to Maggie and Corey about what they wanted, I think they went back and forth on this house, and ultimately they decided on the house. But while it was still 100% done, there were still changes they needed to make. That house did not fit their exact way they live now and the way they live in the next 5 to 10 years. For example, we had an exercise room downstairs, but only 3 bedrooms. They needed a 4th bedroom, so we were able to convert that exercise room into a bedroom. They wanted an outside patio area. There were a lot of things that they wanted, although the house was 100% done, that we just kind of went back and forth and saw how their vision was and was able to recreate that vision. And while they were in Arizona, we made those changes. By the time they got here, that house was ready for them to move in perfectly.
I love the fact that the owner met with them and actually sat down and talked with them and drew it out and then did exactly what they planned.
A couple times.
Yeah, and now we came back and seen the changes they made, and they were incredible. I want them to do some changes on our house now, if we can.
I can remember how you and Maggie went back and forth on designing the patio area.
Yeah, that was a lot. Allie, she's a lot.
Talk more about that.
Sorry. Yeah, she would send us a picture over, and while it was a good idea, a good starting point, it just needed some tweaking. The lots are very unique here at Evans Farms. She wanted a fence. She wanted a very specific style of the fence. However, the neighboring lot already had a fence on it, and we just told her we thought it might look better if we could match that fence. Again, that's our job. Our job is to tell our clients the pros, the cons, and the costs, and ultimately it's up to them to decide how they want to spend their money.
I like how Maggie was from Arizona, so she thought of yards in terms of artificial grass and how that whole thing processed and changed on their patio as well.
Yeah, artificial turf she wanted pavers with rocks between the pavers, very Arizona-ish, not very Columbus. So we were able to take those two things, twist them and tweak them, and basically give them what they wanted with a few minor Columbus tweaks.
We moved in immediately, and then we had July 4th, and what the community did for July 4th with the kids' activities, with parades, with the cook-offs, with the activities, the competitions, the DJs. So it just made it a very warm community. And we're actually looking forward now to the Oktoberfest. The brewery is going to be shutting down the entire street to be able to host an Oktoberfest that has going to have food trucks and live music and beers. And so it's a community that is fit for our family, our lifestyle, the amount of kids in the neighborhood. Our kids can go outside at any time during the day, during the week, during the weekend, and find someone to play with, go to the parks, play in the street, the green belts, or go to the cookie shop or go to the ice cream shop and grab a scoop of ice cream.
I think the house ended up fitting them pretty perfectly. I mean, they have that outdoor living. They said we drive by all the time. We see them out on that front porch. We see them upstairs. Corey blaring that music as loud as he could. You gotta love Corey, right? I mean, those kids running around the neighborhood. I mean,
It's awesome.
they are what Evans Farms is all about.
One of the best things was when all the business and all the real estate was aside, was actually getting to know Maggie and Corey. We bring them in, showing them the short north, maybe showing them a little bit too much, but we had fun. Drinks, fun.
I mean, we've been doing this since 1997, but there are couples you meet sometimes and things like that you just connect with. And we found that some of our real estate clients actually end up becoming lifelong friends. It's probably the greatest part of the business, right? Not only are you helping them find the house, but you're helping them get situated, learn the area, and helping them adapt to it. And it's
At that point, we knew everything about their life. Like literally coming in, we knew the what
it's a
was
very
important.
intimate experience, right?
It is
Doing
for months
real
at that
estate.
point.
Because we know everything about you, and then we help try to find something that works
It does
for that.
go into the friendship. Like it honestly does, with helping them find the perfect home. And then once we found it, it was like, okay, let's celebrate. Let's go have a drink. Let's go look around. Let's bring.
It's not just business, it's personal, right? It's the opposite of what they say sometimes. It's nothing personal, it's just business. It's not like that in real estate. And we loved it. We loved meeting them and hanging out with them. And we love doing this.
And you now have new 4 kiddos to play with.
I love it. It's great. Still have the bruises to show from it.
And we closed, and then even beyond that, we have now formed relationships, friendships with both the builder and the real estate team. And it was such a comforting thing to move here, feeling like we didn't know anybody, but actually realizing now we know people. And they have done such a great job at getting us connected to the community. The fact that they live in the community, Ken and Chris themselves, Kenrick Fine Home Builder, they live here. So they do a great job at getting you connected to the community, meeting people. And they have kind of filled in as new friends. They know our kids. The real estate team knows our kids. And it's just been a great experience. So if you are in any sort of a situation similar to ours and are looking for that assistance to help you in a process that we found ourselves in, the Lambright team, Jim and Stacey, were great and phenomenal realtors that I believe would see you through the same or similar process, as well as Ken and Chris with Kenrick Fine Homes. They are phenomenal, and we would want nothing more than, if you're a family that finds yourselves in a similar situation as ours, to look into using either one of them. They will definitely see you through the process.